Anyway, here we go. I'm Pat.
Hi, Pat. What did you just finish watching? What did
Punt
you
Goal
call?
55.
Any particular reason
Actually,
you
it
called
was
it that?
probably should be called Field Goal 55. Yeah, until the last quarter, and that was all defensive.
Yeah,
Yeah, just turnovers and blah. But anyway,
it's over. I don't think
it's over. We're good for a year.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna remember this one unless there's something that stuck out to you as far as
Not really,
yeah,
other than just listening to it was Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico.
yeah,
We've given a lot of shit over the course of this podcast.
sure.
He deserves every last minute of it. Yeah.
Are you talking about Collinsworth or Mike Tirico?
Yes. I don't know, man. John Madden, Pat Bowen, they are not. So
Pat Bowen, Pat Summerall.
Pat Summerall.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay,
my
okay.
bad.
No, no, no.
Yeah, no. Pat Bowen's the guy who used to own that
You used to own
team.
the Broncos, yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
No, Pat Summerall. Just Chris Collinsworth with his like amazingly prescient calls. Well, you need to catch the ball to get downs.
I don't know if we're hearing the same guy, man. I got to tell you, yeah,
Collinsworth?
I actually
Uh,
think Collinsworth is like top three in the NFL.
okay, who are your top two then?
Um,
Personally, I like Aikman. So
yeah, Aikman is kind of like middle tier, maybe middle
okay.
bottom.
So who's the top?
Um, I mean he's up there. Let's see. Hmm.
TikTok. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I have to think about it.
I don't know, man. I've just heard the same guys for so many years now.
Well, if it's the familiarity breeds contempt thing, I
That
certainly would totally
yeah, that
understand
might be
that.
true. Yeah.
Um, when it comes down to it, the guy actually he knows the sport fairly well.
Collinsworth?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
he knows the sport very well. Um, he generally, when it comes to filling time, I think is one of the least annoying people. Um,
Yeah, okay.
I don't tend to find
So
Aikman
he's
like
definitely
that.
better than Joe Buck. Put it that way.
Joe Buck is. I mean, I think he's fine. Joe Buck is just he's serviceable. He's
Serviceable.
well, he is. Well,
Well,
that's
he's been
the
around forever.
you know what I'm talking about. There's
Yeah.
a version of things where you don't have to be awesome. You don't have to be. There's going to be a lot of dudes in the NFL that, or in baseball that come and go, and you don't remember their names, but they were career like 290 hitters, right? And so
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Joe Buck is one of those guys where it's like, yeah, this guy hit. He never won a huge series. He didn't do anything, that was really stand out except for like saying disgusting 10 times when Randy Moss mooned the Packers. But he was just workman. He got the job done.
Yeah.
He wasn't awful. Like I honestly I think like Brady is bad on the mic. I don't think he's
I think he'll get better.
he might get better.
I mean, he knows the fucking game inside now. So
He does, but I
yeah.
mean, that's the. And to be fair, I don't think you're going to find a bigger, Tom Brady advocate than me. But I mean, it's. I just don't think he's. I don't think that there's just like a spark or something where you see is like I see exactly why you wanted this guy. I think there's
Yeah.
probably people like so Ron Jaworski on ESPN wasn't a great quarterback, but he's
Yeah,
fantastic
he's
with
an excellent
analysis,
announcer. Yeah.
right? Has a great voice. It's one of
Yeah,
those,
yeah, yeah.
you
He
know,
does.
it's the Ted Williams thing. He's a fantastic, greatest hitter of all time. Wasn't a great coach, you know.
Yeah. There was a guy that was on a pregame today. Who the fuck was it? Um, I think it was Kyle Shanahan.
Wasn't I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was on the pregame today, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Why are you here, man?
Oh yeah.
It's your last name, bro." You know.
As if that really carries that much weight. I mean, the weird thing is,
Well, and that's the thing about the NFL is like all these guys have kids, and as you get older, you see kids of kids now.
mhm.
Yeah, where it's kind of like, okay, so you get a name.
Well, it's a weird thing because it's just the booth.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not.
Oh, where are you going, dog? Oh, you just gonna want to hang out, huh? Are you trying to leave?
Trying to whisper something to him.
I know, yeah, I know. That guy's pretty sus. Jesus, I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah. I got dog logged
You,
here.
you, you, you let her influence you.
Oh no, man.
Oh man, that's we'll fix that in a minute.
It'll be okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's just the booth because the truth is the people are there to watch the game, right?
Right.
So, and I mean, in a lot of cases, people are going to be watching these things in bars and stuff like that with the volume off anyway. So there's a
Well, yeah, it's time to get up and go get food and take a piss and whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of saying people wouldn't be watching this without the announcing squad, uh, I think that's sort of erroneous. You know,
They could just do it with that like AI voice.
well, sure. Well, I mean, but that's the when it comes to the nepotism, the names. Um, sure, I mean that might be a little bit of a draw, but I don't think the average person is there. It's like, oh, I'm going to watch this game because
Yeah, this announcer.
you
Yeah.
know Manning's doing this one or whatever,
Yeah, no.
right?
Yeah, no, I got you on that. I don't know.
Obviously,
It was a fairly unremarkable Super Bowl.
that's
Yeah, it seems par for the course anymore. So
I don't even know if unremarkable is the nicest way to say that. It's
it might have been
it's
a little bit mean.
it's
Yeah.
it's okay to say it's disappointing, unentertaining. Um, I'm sure if my brother would hear a not the best representation of talent that should have been playing the game if he were
Right.
here
Yeah.
right now, and
Yeah.
all things considered, it would be very hard to dispute that. Uh, that being said, look, I'll put it this way: I do of course still think that Drake May has many good years ahead of him, and I think he is going to be butting heads with people in the AFC for many years to come. Right? I think this is
Hmm.
actually they've actually settled in on who their guy is, just like Denver settled in on their guy. It's going to be
Yeah, that's
years,
true. Yeah.
and they have a good core of guys over there in the AFC, and you're going to be seeing those dudes play over and over again. Um, but yeah, the defensive line of Seattle, yeah, MVP performance,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
just
Yeah, just absolutely shut them down until the fourth quarter.
insanity.
Yeah.
That's very very impressive, although very boring to watch.
It was quite boring to
Yeah,
watch. Yeah.
yeah. It's over.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
done. Yeah.
I didn't watch commercials or anything. Was there anything good?
Commercial wise, now not really.
Okay.
There's a lot of AI schlock out there.
Oh,
So, um,
that's everywhere.
yeah, I know. So you're probably going to hear about a couple of them over the next couple of days. There was a Dunkin' Donuts commercial that pulled all these guys in from the 80s and redid their faces and shit. Um, yeah, it was like weird. Um, yeah, but then there's a bunch of them that were just AI, like use chat, use this, use Gemini, use the yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, in fact, I was joking with that water lawyer. We saw one where some guy's punching in stats, and we're like, yeah, fucking chat's hallucinating that shit.
I'll bet you he could have spoken to this because that's been one of the problems in law, actually.
It has been a problem in law where it'll just hallucinate fucking cases that
Yeah,
never actually
yeah.
happened. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a different time, Jeff. It's just like, I mean, there was another one that has to do, I think it came from the ADL of all things.
They put out an ad.
It was either ADL or something like that.
Jesus.
One of those ones where the kid's walking through a hall The people are like snickering at him.
I saw that in advance. That
Okay.
was actually that was Robert Kraft. Actually, he had a hand in that.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I guess he's a tribe.
He's tribe. Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching that thing and I'm like, let me get this straight. I'm like, it's not those people doing the bullying. Would you please
Stop this.
stop with this shit? It's the same thing like if you watch an ADT commercial. I'm sorry, guys. I know that you don't want to get in trouble, but let me get out the statistics for you.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
not,
Exactly.
people
Yeah.
don't buy home security systems for folks that look like that. They don't look. No, it's so stupid because they always, they always drive up in like an electric car, and there's two or three dudes in the car, and all three of them look
Sniggering away.
sniggering away, and they all look like fucking 35-year-old office workers, white office workers, and they're breaking into this house with menacing looks on their faces. I'm like, guys,
And crowbars.
and crowbars.
Yeah.
I'm
Tired.
It's ridiculous. They're wearing those hats. They're always wearing those
Right.
hats.
You get little beanies on.
Beanies on, the black suits, fucking sometimes black suits, white stripes, bag with a dollar sign on it.
He yoinked it right off your deck. Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. This is you can be realistic about it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an ADL commercial, but
It wasn't ADL.
It was.
It was not.
It was not. Okay.
It was a Jewish organization, but it was Bob Kraft's.
Yeah, but it said "Dirty Jew" on the back of the like sticky note
Yeah.
in like perfect handwriting.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right.
It was a little bit on the nose, man. And it's just like, all right, come on. I did not watch the halftime show either, so that was definitely piss time.
I hope you took a long one.
I did. We had a guy go missing, so we had to go around the neighborhood looking for him. It was good timing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you find him?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
He was found. So,
What the hell was he?
he was just like out back.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
That's all. So, it is what it is, man. I missed like 45 fucking minutes of halftime show. So, I'm good.
I was not watching that under any circumstances, man.
I don't even care anymore.
It's not even. It's not even an I don't care. I made my point a long time ago. I said, make this thing fucking 15 minutes long, right? Bring out the UCLA marching band, right?
Right, yeah.
Um,
This was not that.
no,
No, this
No.
was not that. In fact, I'm sure it took at least 15 minutes on both ends to set up and tear down. So,
yeah, and my
it's not left
understanding
shark
is,
shit either,
right?
man.
It's
Which is kind of goofy. But
fucking reeked of Puerto Rican queerness. So I mean, this is not. I guess this is, when they make that argument, they say, well, this is for the women in the audience. The guys are here for the sport. You know what? Fuck off with that. I really don't appreciate that.
I have no idea, man. I'd like to see the watch statistics on it. I mean, there were people who flipped it over to the Olympics because they were doing curling at the time.
You know what? I like Olympic curling. If I'd have noticed that was on, I'd rather watch that.
It was on.
Men's or women's?
I don't know, but different version of NBC.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Just take your pick. I doubt it was on CNBC, but it might have been.
Could be.
I don't know.
Full bore. But that being said, I like, Summer Olympics way better than Winter Olympics.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've never really been in the Winter Olympics. My mom used to love ice skating, but now it's all just
That's fine.
fucking dancing elves and shit.
Dancing elves.
Dude, you'll see some of the things on there. Like these guys are wearing elven costumes now, and might as well have pointy ears.
Does it reek of Puerto Rican queerness?
No, it's more like Norwegian Viking queerness.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it's a different flavor.
So it's not theater kid stuff.
Oh,
is
it's
it?
definitely theater kid stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So having a theater kid, I can kind of identify.
Hey man, there's a time and place for that, and I would argue that of all things, figure skating probably is one of the ones that's most compatible with it.
Oh yeah, no.
I can't. The,
I mean, we're not like ribbon dancing and stuff yet. That's summer
no,
Olympics.
that's
Yeah.
summer, and you know what? Just because I don't get it's, I can at least look at that and say that's hard. And under the same token, I can absolutely look at figure skating and say that looks really difficult. I do not give a fuck. It's like
It is really difficult.
in the
Yeah.
same way that I guess the best way I could say this is if somebody sat me down and said, "What are you doing?" It's like I'm going to make you watch something. It's like, well, I don't want to watch anything. It's like, you're going to watch this. Say, okay, this is top level League of Legends gameplay, right? I would still be,
I know where you're going with this already. Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, yeah.
I can agree. It's like, wow, that was complex, and
It's
that
really
person,
hard. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
bored. Yeah. Is
it's
there a
like
hockey game on?
I can really appreciate what they're doing.
Right.
I do not give a fuck, right? And so the same thing was. I can't speak to whether or not it was more theatrical in the 80s and 90s when my mom was watching this stuff because I wasn't watching it.
Oh, I was. My mom was religious for that shit. In fact, I guarantee you she's watching it tonight.
Is she? Okay.
Well, between that and the Super Bowl, yeah. Yeah.
Well, my mom was actually a surprisingly good ice skater.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because
I think my mom took me like ice skating like twice when I was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like the first time I actually had those like skates with the two blades on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
so you
the
can't fall over. Yeah,
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 the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I didn't take to it.
I tried it once. I also did not take to it. I've tried many times to get roller skating, and I still can't take to
I
it.
can't do that.
I read up on the science of it. I read like it's
Like
like
skating or blading.
actually skating,
Yeah, okay.
right?
With the old school, like
Just
fucking
down at the rink right
skateboard
over there.
skates.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Even went by myself a few times, just like I am going to figure this out. I get the mechanics. I can turn. I can not fall over,
Okay.
which is the.
Man, that rink was hard.
It was hard, and I've clapped the walls many times. But that being said, I get. I have a base competence of it that I can, stay afloat.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that is,
Floater, not a sinker. Yeah.
but that's the thing is that's not fun.
Uh-uh.
I watch the people who I knew a lot of friends who were very, very good at it.
Hmm.
And so there was a certain amount of how do you get this in a way that I don't get it?
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what bothered me.
Yeah. I don't know. I was never good at it. So,
I
and then
tried
same
it.
thing with ice skating. I only tried it a couple times. Did not work out.
I don't know how it's a weird thing for my mother to be good at.
Well, she's 88 pounds soaking wet. So,
I get it, but frozen water to skate on in Korea just
it happens.
that I guess that's my
Right. Yeah. They don't exactly have like, you roll out the communist Zamboni.
it's a question of access, not
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it's really
Yeah. We skate on the lake.
what should I get? Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the geography of the place. I presume I don't know what Korean winter is like.
Cold as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like worse than here.
Just because it's further north.
38th parallel. We're at 36, dude. You know? You should have this number burned in your head.
Oh, it's there. But you're right. Yeah.
Not my problem. And it's only 38 plus that was a problem.
Right. That's what I'm saying. His mom was lower than that.
Right, but
Not significantly.
no,
Right.
no, no. It's
Right.
still cold. Yeah.
Not by a fact. It
Just
doesn't
doesn't
cross
fucking
like two.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the communists
Right.
don't let keep the cold in. on one side. Yeah.
Still boggles my mind that the north side was seen as the superior part of that peninsula, uh, geography wise.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it. My understanding is the south side is basically city and rock. That's about it.
The city, rock, and water on the
The
outside.
water,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
three sides water.
right.
Um, so obviously, where your food's gonna come from.
Not on the rock. Yeah.
I don't know what kind of rock food you eat.
Uh, Roots.
So, all right, my mom told me, and then I guess this is kind of congruent with China and that kind of things. Like not much chicken, but a lot of pork.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That I would believe.
Got it. And fish.
My uncle Jay used to tell me the biggest lies about that place. He was like, "Well, we didn't have toilets. We had these rooms where you'd go to the bathroom and there was just a hole cut in the wood, and you didn't want to hang out there for long because that's where the pigs would hang out." I'm like, what are you talking? The pigs would hang out and they would eat the poop from you, and you didn't want to take too long doing this because the pigs would then just like go right up to your like you.
This sounds like lies. Yeah.
And then he told me, he said, and then when you finished, it's like obviously there's no paper. It's like, yeah, so what do you do? And he didn't tell me the corn cob story. I've heard that from early
I've
America.
heard that too. Yeah.
What he said is like, well, you look over there.
There's
And
a string.
there's a string.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I've heard that. There's a piece of rope between two trees and you just scooch on it
You-
like a
you
fucking
just
dog. Yeah.
lift one leg over
Right.
and
Yeah.
walk the line.
Walk the line. I don't think that's what that means, but but I might be wrong. You never know.
That's all I can say. And then I
God dang, this country is so fucking cool.
isn't it amazing?
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's not in this country that they have to have campaigns
No.
saying, please use a toilet.
Yeah.
Do not poop outdoors.
Don't poop in a river. Yeah. Dude, I have a cat who does this to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
He just tries to like get behind me whenever I'm doing something, and then curls up like this next to me. Yeah.
There's just something about your essence that my dog finds so comforting that she just wants to draw it out of
She
you.
knows that I'm perfectly harmless. So that's what it is. Like I give her
Suppose that's
cookies and
true.
ask for nothing in return. No handshakes,
Right.
no rollover.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So my cats are the same way. I go into the kitchen, they both like look at me like, we could use some butter. I'm like, yeah. I was like, go fucking rake leaves or something.
Right,
But
right.
no, I never asked that,
Right.
man. I just gave it to him.
You got a checklist on the fridge.
Mhm. He's like, let me check the chore list here.
'Cause I know you were looking for butter, but that trash is still exactly where it was last week.
Yep. You have not sorted out the fucking cans from the bottles. So,
Which means this butter stays right the fuck where it is.
oh no.
Yeah.
It comes right off the shelf and goes right in the cat.
Yeah.
So I'm a complete pushover. Um, that's okay. They're cute.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, your life is rough enough. All you do is sit and roll around in the fucking sun all day, poop on my floor.
And it's weird because I'm finding these moments exactly what you're talking about. I'm finding these moments to be just among my favorite memories sometimes.
Oh, they're joyful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where this one, she'll go out there now that it's not that we had a particularly cold winter, quote unquote.
Dude, this is the least winter I think we've ever had. We had one day of fucking snow. Your shit is almost cleared off, dude.
Yeah.
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 So
Which means
Right?
it'll snow again, but
Well, yeah, but I use your driveway as a fucking gauge of
it's pretty good.
snowpack.
It's here and on the peak. That's where you need to
Yeah,
put
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
measurements in.
Yeah.
You take the core samples. But
Sometimes they go back months.
you go in there, you start getting toward the bottom, and you hit like garbage. You're like, when did we eat at Del Taco?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, oh
Shit,
man,
the place has been closed for years.
that's sale in September. Um, yeah, so now that it's especially like it's sunny out,
Mm.
she will do this thing. Well, she'll go outside. Most of the time, she used to hang in here. She'll go outside. She'll go out there on the patio, and she will spread out. And she'll come back, and she's panting because it was like hot,
Mhm.
right? And she'll come sit next to me like she's proud.
Just radiating heat.
Well, she's looking to me to praise her for being outside, and the thing is, I always do, and I always just like, oh, was doing some belly bacon. Oh yeah,
Belly
yeah,
bacon.
yeah. And then the same thing goes when she goes out in the backyard. She'll patrol a little bit. She'll see somebody walking by the fence. She'll do some barking, and then she'll come rushing back in, jump up next to me, and she's like, "Come on, tell me I did good."
I barked the shit out of that
And
guy.
she's looking at me like it's a good day. It's like, yeah, I did some
It was
barking.
a good day.
I
Yeah.
did some barking.
Earn your keep, kid.
And it's weird. It's weird these simple things that actually, when push comes to shove, and our species is done, and the uh, robots or aliens or whatever it is,
Ribbits.
it's
Yeah.
whatever ones come to uncover what was left of our civilization. I think they'll find that we did two things right. It'll be the First and Second Amendments of the Constitution, and that we domesticated animals.
Yes, two species in particular. Yeah.
They will say people tried to domesticate ferrets and their houses stank.
Your houses did stink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're well, all the ferrets will die as soon as newspaper is gone.
That's the only thing.
It's the only thing keeping them
The
Yeah.
only thing between ferrets and extinction is newspaper.
alive. Newspaper. Yeah. Getting close, man.
Not wrong, man. Yeah, they're
I
a
actually signed up for
Yeah.
the local paper the other day.
You spend money?
Yeah, I decided to spend money on it. So
What brought this about?
I don't know, man. Just my news feed is so full of crap lately that I was like, all right, let me try this for a little bit. So they gave me like $1 for the next 3 months. And I was like,
That's reasonable.
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let me try that. So we'll see.
Is it showing up at your house already?
No, it won't for another week. So
Do you miss the tactile piece of actually holding something to read in that way?
I miss the piece where like I used to spend certain amounts of my day just like, okay, I've got 10 minutes, let me read the news.
Okay.
And just like, okay, that's enough news. I'm good. Kind of thing. So, because I've been eating like directly from the fucking pig's butt lately on fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
I just can't do it anymore, man. I can't cultivate a certain amount of like people that I trust because they'll say something one day and the next day it'll turn out that's not fucking true. So I'm just like, all right, fine. Let me take it in smaller doses. And quite honestly,
Yeah.
I do care about what's going on around in the community. And so I'd
Sure,
rather see
sure.
like a few stories on like, like local shit without like pulling up the Google News feed or relying on Twitter where like it'll pop out a Gazoo or a Chieftain story that's like fucking 3 weeks old,
Right.
Yeah. And so
Right.
it's like, you know what? That would have been nice to know. So, but then others of it is like,
Sure.
well, I didn't need to know all that other stuff that I was reading on because it's just gonna fucking change tomorrow anyway. So, And so I don't know, man. I think my nose is just a little bit close to the glass, and so I was like, well, let me try this instead, for a little bit.
I don't think I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea to go back to trad media. It's the
But I'm not going to order the fucking New York Times, kind of thing. So,
no, that's a different kind of misinformation,
well,
though.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I don't know, man.
Well, what does it tell you when? Again, this is one of the problems they have, and you can look at the graph on this. They're not wrong when it comes to trust in legacy media sources. There's a line that goes like this. Um, and that's two groups are basically like this, and one group is kind of like this, but ultimately it still averages out to about 13%, down from like 50 in 1995 or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, what does it tell you when the Washington Post just laid off a third of their staff? And again, this is when they talked about who was laid off, and you
yeah. They lay
saw,
out there fucking sports guys and shit like that.
well,
So,
no, I mean that's a part of it, but
right.
one of the things they showed was okay. They had 19 people on staff for climate change stories and laid
I
off
know.
14.
Yes, exactly. And
That's
it's
what I'm
like,
talking
well,
about. Yeah,
no, and I mean, climate change is just it's a good example of that where, and I mean, I still see this in academic lit, which I do spend a lot of time reading,
yeah.
where everything is still about sustainability and stuff like that.
Mm,
It's like nobody fucking cares. Okay, I mean, okay, so maybe the editors care. So it tells you more about the editorial board
right,
than it does
right.
anything else. And it's like, well, okay, I mean, climate change is kind of my dipstick now that I use on certain things when people are talking about sustainability, and I mean, like diversity is kind of in the same boat, where it's just
Okay,
like,
yeah,
okay, why are we still talking? Okay, so this shit's all 10 years old,
yeah.
at this point in time, and you know, I mean, it's just like, all right, I don't need this take on every story anymore. And so the
Right.
thing about like signing back up with the local paper is like, all right, you have a limited amount of stats.
You do make
you
them count.
know,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
count and
Yeah.
and keep me hooked in. But also at the same point in time, it's kind of goes to my local news theory overall. If it's a big deal on the national scene, it will boil up in the local news. And if it's not a big deal on the national scene, then it won't show up on the fucking local news.
Fair enough. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
yeah.
I've just gotten to that point in time, and being on Twitter is just it's way too close to the glass, and I've gotten to the point where I just I cannot devote the time to figure out what is actually going on. You have to give it like 4 or 5 fucking days. Now at this point in time, in order to actually like, because I found myself getting mad about stupid shit, and I was like, wait, bro, you got papers to grade, man. Stop this shit. And then especially like
Yeah.
this last couple weeks, it's like, okay, so this video comes out, it's bad, all right, it looks bad, but then it's clipped, but then the one that's not clipped also looks fucking bad, but not as bad. And so now, like, it takes like 3 days for everybody to kind of like even keel on it. It was like, I ain't got time for this shit. So,
Well, and
you
more to the
know,
point is, even as the video is produced,
yeah.
even if it's definitive, nobody will walk it back.
No, of course not. Yeah, because it's admitting defeat in the face of like the fucking firestorm. So I don't know, man. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna change my news diet a little
I
bit,
think that's yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like, all right, so I've adjusted my other diet
yeah.
a little bit to involve less Doritos.
Hmm. That,
And so let's do a few less news Doritos here and see if I start feeling better about
yeah.
everything.
Well, I will say this. I will say this is all right. I Of all the social media out there, look, the actual the spigot of information, Twitter is not going to be topped. Nobody's going to take that
No,
from
no,
there.
but it's
However,
it's it's literally drinking from the fire hose, though.
that is correct.
And I cannot do it anymore, man, because I find myself getting wrong flipped on a lot of things. Where like after a day or two, it's like, oh wait, that was bullshit. Got it. Okay, and like a lot of it was just who I was cultivating as a source,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But now it's gotten to the point in time like I can't go to the For You feed because it's horse shit. So you know, and
No,
then
it's just I go to yeah.
but no, but then like I can't cultivate like different outside sources within, you know, the like I follow this guy because I realize this guy is making like he makes his bread by generating, you know, fucking content.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and I mean I'm just getting to the point in time. It's like, well, I'm sorry, man, I don't have time to filter your bullshit either anymore.
Well,
So
what's your okay? So this is one of the difficulties that you're talking about here, and there's two things about Twitter I find particularly problematic, right? And it's not its fault per se,
mhm.
right? Because there's nothing about that you should curtail because when news comes out, you want that to come out, right? When the Nick Shirley story comes out, you want it to get a whole bunch of traction because people aren't covering it. People haven't been giving it the widespread attention it
Right, but
deserves,
you
right?
want
But
it to have the professional sheen on it that he was not able to do. You
well,
know, I mean, I get it. I get the fucking reality TV kind of piece of it, where it's like, oh, this is actually fucking real. You know, this isn't scripted. This is coming out. But then, you know, when it comes out a little bit after, like Nick Shirley in particular, where it's like, well, wait a minute, your fucking local news guys have been covering this for six fucking years.
but that's the problem,
Well, I get
right?
that, but I'm not sitting here trying to root for one thing or another. I just want to know what's actually going on.
Right,
You know, and
right.
that's really hard to do when you have guys who are like cutting bleeding edge on stuff.
Oh no, no,
Yeah.
yeah, no. That's the point though. Is yeah. So you want that platform to whatever it's going to take for that to actually take off, right?
Hmm.
Is where you want that to be, right?
Yeah, sure.
But the two things that I think it does particularly poorly in terms of just not necessarily the service but the human brain, it really makes distant things feel local. And I
Yeah, that's
mean,
true.
it
Yeah.
really feels like the shit is happening. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
sit there and watch those fucking idiots in Minnesota, you start thinking that if you go outside, they're there.
You're gonna see it right there. Yeah. No, that's a really good point, man.
It's happening in like four cities. That's it. And even then,
I
it's
know.
little stuff.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I've gotten a little bit sour on Twitter lately is if you look at the first line of every fucking response, it's like, "Grok, is this true?" You know, and it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, a little bit
well,
of
wait a minute. All right, so this is kind of like filtering bullshit back through its own filter. Okay, so let's be a little bit judicious about this, you know. But like every like news story that comes out, especially everything with Epstein and stuff like that, it's like, is this true? It's like, well, you have access to the files. Go fucking look it up, you know, kind of thing.
but like you said, it's like I'm not going to parse 3 million documents.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know, I mean, let alone like download all those PDFs.
Bro, I got to
You know?
look, man.
And so
There's a shit ton of emails talking about fucking human beef jerky and shit. I'm like, you think I'm joking?
I know you're not joking, man. Yeah, no, yeah. Extracting baby juices from things.
You know, and I get it. So it is mentioned a lot of times. I don't doubt the veracity of these emails. I guess there's a part of me that probably says, I think they're talking about drugs.
Or whatever, you know. I mean, I don't know, man. Once they did the great brain dump there, and you know,
Yeah.
you started to realize it's like, all right, so this is every fucking, you know, caller who couldn't get through, you know, fucking coast to coast AM at night. And so,
No shit,
and
man.
then,
I guess we've been doing
well,
this a while. Yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
liked about it was the FBI actually took the time to write that shit
You
down.
know, that's a good job.
I
That's a good
guess,
job.
man,
Yeah.
if that's your thing, you got to chew through the FBI queue every night. You're the guy who gets to only AM calls. At least you wrote it down, bro.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right. There's a lot of Tuesday night calls in there too. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking Tuesday night calls in there. I guess so. The other thing that I find it's not something you have to really work at this, and I'm struggling with this. Is Twitter doesn't have a warm setting. Twitter has You know what I mean?
There's no such thing as a medium low.
No. It's the air conditioner in your car. It says low. It says high.
It says hi. Yeah.
And you're asking your brain to say like, well, I'm going to draw from different sources.
It's on or off.
You're asking your brain to take the information and set it to 70. And I don't think you can do that
There's no
well. I
cabin
don't.
setting on.
I just
Twitter,
don't. Yeah.
You can't just keep this at a nice mile 68. Yeah.
Am I wrong? Because even if
No,
you
you're
try
not
to
wrong,
balance
man.
it out, your brain just does not.
You're not wrong. And
Reconcile that,
like
yeah.
the problem, like with me following certain people is, especially ones who are like good about replying to their comments and shit.
Yeah.
They just get sucked into fucking super high heat. You know,
Why argue over? Ugh.
well, some of them do it, some of them don't, man. But I mean, you can, yeah, sure. But you can find guys who, they try,
Yeah. Yeah.
but if a certain tweet or a certain response gets enough hits, then it gets pumped into your feed,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you realize it's like, wait a minute, why are you fucking arguing with this normie here? Well, not even normie, but fucking frog people.
Frog people, or just
Right.
not good actors, not.
No. Yeah. I don't know, man. So I just think my nose has been a little bit close to the glass lately, and so I was like, all right, let me try this. Let me go on a fucking Nutri-Grain diet for 2 weeks.
Again, I think that's probably a smart thing, and I wish my brain parsed it a little bit better. Where, yeah, when I would see, because I do. I mean, that's the thing is I am I follow leftist voices on Twitter too.
I do
right?
too, man.
There's a problem here is it's not. Maybe it's the quality of the ones that I'm looking at here. Maybe it's nobody seems to be coming at it from a proactive point on that side, and it's pissing me off. Right?
Yeah.
Where it's all just it's
So who's the farthest left dude you follow on Twitter?
AOC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've got people to the left of her.
Oh well, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
All right. I guess that's the thing is I consider her kind of a beacon of the far left, or at least the presentable face of the far left.
I
Let
know
me put it
people
that
on the
way.
left who will bash her for not being left enough. So,
You're right.
yeah,
You're
I've
right.
got a couple of those.
Totally understand. Totally understand. But that being said, I think that's the presentable face of it. The person that you trot out and say like, well, this is the far left. This is the one that I would let meet my parents, right? But
I think the farthest left guy that I follow on Twitter is probably Max Blumenthal. So yeah, he's pretty far out there. Brianna
But
J.
he's-
Gray, I listen to her too. She's way out there.
she's not a dick about it, if I recall.
No, I like her.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like her as a person. I hate all of her positions.
Yes.
So, but I'll see her stab back on guys that are even like I would consider on the left. Pretty hard from time to time. And the same thing on the right. Like, there's a few guys. Like, I don't even think Nick Fuentes is on the right anymore. He's kind of his own like fucking moon.
He's
So, he's one of those moons that goes around the other way. So,
yeah, it's a weird one, man. It's so there's a there's a there's a nice way to say it. Okay, so there's the spectrum when it's defined by people in the media. They will definitely put Nick Fuentes on a certain part on the right spectrum, right?
yeah,
They absolutely will, and they're going to put it right next to the SS Lightning Bolts. Now
yeah, he rotates a different way though, man.
but that's the thing
Yeah,
is if
yeah.
you I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
There's a certain one of the things that I saw that classified people as quote unquote racist or it was basically anything if you quoted anything or believed in any part of the Great Replacement theory, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. Now, here's the thing is there's a version of that you can get to that actually is kind of if you get to the point where it's saying, all right, so these things are happening and it's bad because this group is better than this group. Okay, congratulations, you walked right into that territory. If you
Mhm.
get into the part where you say, well, all right, now what I can say is that these countries were based on these demographics and have these values, right?
Mhm.
What I can say is that as a non Judeo Christian value, say like Islam, that will interrupt the or disrupt the basis of the culture's morals, right, or the standards, that kind of thing, i.e. marrying a 9-year old. So the thing, if you look at that and say like, all right, is that dangerous? It can be, right? But if you say anything about that, that is seen as very far right, basically quote unquote racist.
Well, it's just
And
based on
that's
perspective.
yeah,
It's where you are actually at a
yeah,
given point in time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So no, I've seen quite a few of those guys. Nick Fuentes is just a good bellwether for most of them in some respects. I
Oh yeah,
mean, there's some
yeah.
other guys out there that are a little bit more further out than he is.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, they're not hard to find, you know, because there is that part of like great replacement fucking Twitterverse
Yes.
that does exist. Yeah. Um,
There was a part of great replacement Twitterverse where it's like this was a better place when you guys were afraid to show your faces in public.
I've seen that part of Twitter. Yeah, there's parts of it that are pretty like, okay, guys.
Uh, it's not just that you're mad that the wrong side won the war.
Yeah,
It's that you think we should have fought on this.
yeah, and we should have fought harder. Yeah, exactly. You know.
And again, there's
Well, to
there's
be fair, Tucker is like he's fucking skirted that a few times, man.
that guy.
So,
Is I don't.
dude, I have a little bit of newfound respect for him.
Interesting. Where did that come
Well,
from?
I think he's wrong on everything, but I don't think he's actually in it for the cashola anymore. I don't think he's after clicks.
Oh yeah.
So I think he is legitimately trying to recruit an army,
For what war?
whatever he decides to fight at some point in time, man. Yeah, because I mean the guy is worth a shitload of money. He's got his own fucking compound in Maine, which should actually like be a kind of like a warning for everybody else. Yeah.
I suppose that's
Yeah,
fair.
if you
Yeah.
build your
Yeah.
own media empire in like a state that's irrelevant.
I think it's an easy one for him to depart by boat.
To Canada?
Right. I was go
Oh, by
east.
boat? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Go
Yeah. He's going to
east.
go to France. Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll be
Just
fine there.
whatever it is, whatever new empire he builds, it will be set up in the middle of the Atlantic.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It will be.
Exactly. He's waiting for Atlantis to resurface.
That's correct.
It's gonna
Tuckeropolis
take like
is
fucking
yeah.
a million beats.
That's
The surface his boat, man. You know.
it's just it's. I did not see him as that, but I don't
No,
know.
man. Yeah. I kind of think I know what he's up to. So yeah. Yeah. Nick Fuentes is in the same boat, but he's just pulling off the guys who actually would join the SS. Yeah.
Now, of course, I mean, it does bother me that there is a subsection of people who I've said this before. I really don't think that there's actually a meaningful or scary Nazi white supremacist contingent in this country. It's, I consider their ranks laughable. I think most people are going to look at this and say,
Other people who are hard in on that. Yeah, I agree.
pretty
Yeah.
much there's no group of these people whose ideas would not be called out as retarded if they were brave enough to float them out there in the ether, right? Just there's you're not going to get that turnaround where people are going to be like, yeah, you're making sense. Yeah, that clicks with me.
Dude, I think it's as small a group as the Antifa group is. The people who actually want to tear down capitalism. You know, I mean, that's the whole thing about
Right.
the left. If you start to look at it, it looks fairly similar to that hard right, where they just glom onto anything that actually like gets them to where they want to go. You know.
Whatever it is that gets you outdoors and
Hmm.
throwing something at something else
Hmm.
is the cause you support.
Right.
Yes, yes,
Well, and I see most of the people on that, even in the Antifa crowd, as being basically useful idiots for a small core. Yeah, exactly. The people who put the fucking pallets of bricks out, those are the people who are the problem. You know, the people who show up in their blue hats or, whatever. Okay, fine. You guys are just useful idiots for this entire thing, but
yeah,
there's a core group of you fuckers out there, who literally want to tear everything down.
yes.
And yeah. So, and there's guys like that on the right too.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
we've done a lot better job of actually scrubbing those dudes out.
I mean, see, that's the part
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't remember. This is
They
the
don't remember the '90s,
nope.
where it's like Ruby Ridge, just like, oh my god, you gonna live off grid, huh? Got
You're not.
it.
Yeah, when we talk about it, it's like, yeah, it sounds great, but where's the closest McDonald's?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's like I don't need it, man. I got 400 boxes of cornflakes underground. Like, if you want to call that living? It's fine.
Right,
It's
yeah.
fine.
I guess that's a
It's fine.
life.
It's like I guess you and your family are gonna be playing fucking Parcheesi for the next, 4
Exactly.
decades.
Yeah.
Enjoy. But yeah, they're also the same thing where the Christians back then were, no, sir, I'm not on board with you bombing an abortion clinic. I don't know you.
Yeah, that actually happened.
You guys are
Yeah.
losers, right? There's the same thing
Well, it
where,
all got sussed out.
oh yeah, and nobody jumped in and said like, yeah, these Westboro guys, they really got this figured out. No, every
No.
Christian said these men do not represent us.
Right.
We
Yeah.
cannot
Exactly.
kick their asses by law and because our God would be mad, but we do not support this in any way. And you know what? For a large part, it went away.
Yeah, it kind of died on the
Yeah,
vine.
it did.
Yeah,
It did.
it kind of died on the vine. You know.
That kind of shit disappeared because all the other groups disowned them wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they went hard in too, man. I
Yeah.
mean, remember them protesting fucking veterans and stuff.
So,
I mean, but that's where that fucking snake brain leads you to, eventually. And you see Nick Fuentes starting to do that a little bit, where he's like, wait a minute, immigration's okay, really? You know? It's like, so back this truck up a little bit, man. It's like, oh no, never mind. You already rolled over the spikes.
this is so the weird thing. I mean, again, it's the funny part of this, of course, is Billie Eilish at the fucking award show that nobody watched, parroted the line that means absolutely nothing. She did
Oh, dude, the memes were ruthless the next day.
the
They're ruthless.
the stolen land thing is something that you say because dumb people clap for you and you don't want to think, right? Because when it comes down to it, it means nothing.
Well, no, I get that, but I mean, it seems so like 2014 too.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is not new information to any of us.
No,
No,
I
it's
know, and I think that was kind of the point why she got roasted by it so hard. The next day was it's like, wait a minute. So that means nobody here is illegal. you know? Got it. All right. So I don't think you really thought this one out, did you, kid?
well, this is a
So
person. I mean, again, it's sort of the same situation where yes, it's so you had the person that came onto your property arrested and given a restraining order afterwards.
your
I
$12
thought
million
this.
dollar property. Yeah.
I thought nobody was illegal on stolen land.
So wait, you're gonna give that back to the Spanish?
Well, to be fair, the funny part is the actual tribe that was from that region did file a lawsuit and said by admitting that it's stolen land, she has forfeited her right to it.
Yeah, let all those guys on your land now. Yeah. Have fun with that.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the it's so stupid because I mean you just a couple of series of questions and you're gonna say like, all right, so what does that mean in terms of like governance? Say I don't know.
Oh no.
Say should there be no borders? It's
Yeah.
like yeah.
Wait, well, yeah.
Okay, so how do I know where to take charge of stuff? Where do I stop? Where does Mexico begin and where does the United
Mhm.
States end? I don't. Well, it's going to work out. People should be able to. Okay, got it.
Sorry,
Right.
sorry, lady.
Yeah.
We fought wars over this shit. So
Well, the very first thing that any leader has to do is they need to know where they're in charge of.
Yeah, and that's pretty well established since 1789. So,
Definitively.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Case of California, 1846, but whatever. You know?
Still settled.
Yeah, right.
That shit's done.
Exactly. Yeah, ink is dry.
If you guys want to fucking make something
Be my guest.
if you're butthurt about it, this
Be my
this much
guest. Oh
later,
my
okay.
God, Mexico invades us. That's called a fucking fun weekend.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's the cute thing about it is, same thing. She's been rallying against fucking billionaires and all this other shit. I'm like, guys, just stop saying things. And again, it's the weird
Just
thing
think it
where,
through. Think it through. That's all.
well, again, the whole thing, the you have the athletes who are giving America shit at the Olympics. You have all the fucking morons who
I
are,
think that's actually a little bit more visceral. So
well,
Europe's not very happy with us right now. I'm okay with that. And if they're not happy with it, it's okay that they boo. That's okay.
oh, it's not
So
the booing. It was the athletes getting on mic and talking shit about America,
whatever.
and that's fine,
Yeah,
right?
you're just
That's
playing the local audience. Whatever.
well,
So
either way. Again, I don't have any problem with that on principle. It's just the thing that really jumps out here on this is thinking that that works for your cause. And I just want to put it to you, this way is every celebrity that you could find stood on ground for Kamala Harris. Is she our president?
nope.
Nope. People actually were put off by that,
Yeah,
right?
quite a bit actually.
So,
So the thing about the election last one, it was still pretty fucking close. You know, but that just means that we got some internal things to sort out a little bit. But
yes,
that's normal.
we're always going to.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
That's the process. It's washing the machine. But I don't know, man. Yeah, some of that stuff at the Olympics was just kind of like, yeah, all right, guys, I get it, you're mad, but I think that like there's this slow realization happening in Europe, that it's like, wait a minute,
yeah,
yeah, we're not gonna sit here and fund your fucking lifestyle forever. And the same
yeah.
thing's true. I mean, you do have malicious neighbors who seem pretty
Yes, you do.
determined to, keep on being malicious, you know. I was seeing some polls coming out of Russia the other day. They're fucking horrifying, Jeff.
Well,
The Russians are cool with this. They're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do peace talks only if you surrender. And it's like, yeah, all right, you guys got your own thing going on. I understand.
I,
But I just don't get it. I don't get that mindset. It's not for me. It's an ocean and a half away. Fuck it, you know, kind of thing. And like really, when it comes down to it, I think there's quite a few people in Europe who are starting to realize that it's like, oh wait, neighborhood watch is gone now. So,
right, right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it's sort of a weird thing where, and again, you this isn't full like Marshall Plan shit because I know there's more that goes into it, but I mean when it comes down to like, look, you guys took a whooping,
Oh yeah. You
and
guys tore yourselves to pieces. So
we had one island where that happened, and we decided to fucking waste an entire nation as a result,
burned it
and
down to the sidewalks.
that wasn't on our territory,
No.
right? It was one little island, right?
Right.
You
Not even
guys,
a state yet.
like nobody set a foot on Britain, but that shit got fucking torched to the ground too, right? So we understand that you guys have some hardships. So tell you what, we're gonna give you 10 free rides on the railroads. We're
Yeah.
gonna
We're gonna pay your utilities for the next 10 rounds. Yeah, exactly. We got you. You can mortgage this, this, and this. But eventually, once
right,
we're paid out, we're done. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. And is it okay to be mad at dad when dad finally says, "Hey, look, we're not gonna, you guys, you're grown up. You can stand
Yeah,
on
you
your
got
own
to get
two
out of
feet.
the fucking basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing, again, it's the Germany thing that kills me on this. This is my favorite part of this. Is all right. So you guys decided that you were going full stream ahead with your green energy thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you shut down all your power. You don't have any. You don't have fuel.
Now we're going to use coal.
Well, it's not even just the coal, right? Because there's another part to the coal part where but that's not enough energy either.
Uh-uh.
So where do you have to get it from?
Those guys.
Those guys.
Those
So
guys.
when you guys are sitting there saying you guys need to help out these Ukrainians more, we're saying, well, actually, you know what? When you turn off the fuel, the fire goes out.
Well, and see, that's the part that I think they're starting to get. I think they are starting to get it. So you got their new guy in NATO who's actually been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. He's been pretty adamant about passing around the hat to actually support Ukraine in Europe. You know, um, and yeah, so there's just a few things that I still tailgate. You know, now the Europeans are going full pirates on the Russian tankers. So
Oh yeah.
they're
Yeah.
starting to nab them. It's like, well, yeah, they all come out of this fucking bottle called the Baltic Sea, so they're pretty. You should not let those go through the English Channel.
There's one.
There's one, grab it, kind of thing. I don't know, man. It's just, and I was seeing the thing in the Olympics, and it's like, I get it. Y'all are mad, all right, but so okay, go ahead and scream into the wind. It's cool. So, but still, at the same point in time, you've got a problem right over there.
On top of that, you're closer.
Way closer.
Sorry, man.
Way
That's
closer.
that's
Way closer. Yeah. Way closer. I don't know, man. We'll see.
Will it get sorted out? Yeah, eventually. I hope so.
Eventually, man, I don't know, man. That thing might go on for several more years. So, I still do watch my Telegram war porn from time to time.
Still
So,
there.
dude,
People are getting blown up every day.
dude, I mean, like the last image of your live shots. Have you seen those? Where it's a drone literally coming towards your face and Russian guys like this. There's tons of them out there like that, man. Yeah. It's like, well, got.
Was this such is lot in life?
Yeah, exactly. I seen a guy the other day trying to swat one away with a branch off a tree.
What are you gonna do?
Well, that's exactly what I was trying, man.
What are you gonna do? I remember stories. I remember stories when the wars in the sandbox were still hot and heavy. I remember reading some bullshit stories about how the Taliban was going to try to train monkeys to use AK-47s, and there's a part of me that's like I remember thinking back then, being the dude who got taken up by a fucking monkey,
with it.
and they have to tell my mom, right? It's like he was shot in the neck by a fucking monkey. But
Yeah.
there's this component to it where, in the same vein, I got blown up by a toy with a wire
And a hand grenade.
and a hand
Yeah,
grenade.
yeah.
And somebody has to write a letter to my mother.
Oh, they don't even bother anymore.
Oh no, for them it's
They
just
don't even bother.
no. It's just like no, don't bury it. It's fucking bears need to eat something.
Bears.
Well, well, you're the one who told me. He's like, "Are you throwing meat in the woods?"
Yeah, exactly. Where's your dog?
Yeah. No, man, that's it's a rough thing, and you're right. When it comes to the actual Russians on this, the ones that are remaining still are kind of like, well, it's, business as usual. We've been through worse.
Well, that's kind of the thing. The thing that blew my mind the other day is this war's been going on longer than the Russians were actually in World War II.
My God.
I know. It was like, wait a minute, you didn't make it to Berlin yet?
And that one had zigzag up and
Right,
down.
yeah,
It took
exactly.
everything in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you guys aren't even in Poland yet, huh? Oh, it's gonna be a while.
You know what? I think the Polish still have they still have memories. I
Well,
think,
they've been buying a shitload of Korean tanks
yeah,
just in case. Yeah,
I think they remember.
yeah. Oh no, they yeah, no.
I think,
They
I, th-
remember.
I think a lot of the
That
old
guy over
folks,
there is problem.
yeah, I think a lot of the old folks told the stories of how much it sucked,
Right, yeah.
how
Yeah.
much we hate these people,
Yeah. So the
right?
Germans were bad, then the Soviets showed up and it was also bad.
So watch out for them
And
and
those
watch out
guys
for
over
them.
there, yeah. So, it's good to have army.
And then people are looking at him too. They're like, "Why are you guys so tough on immigration?" It's like, mind your business.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Put in for visa.
Yeah. I believe what did I see? They said they were dissecting the different states of Eastern Europe, all of whom which don't want to be counted as Eastern Europe.
No.
They all say that's like Central. But
Yeah, we're not with that guy over there.
right.
Yeah,
And they said that Poland was essentially European Texas, and
yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
how it makes sense.
yeah. It's the Lone Star European state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like, what do you do with people trying to cross the border? It's like, well, so when they're crossing, you shoot them.
you wait till they get through the fence.
Now we can't persecute you for crimes that you don't commit.
Right, yeah. Hands off the fence.
But 2 millimeters over the line is over the line.
Well, that's our problem now.
As I told,
We're going to solve it with AK-47s. Yeah.
is correct. As I
Yeah.
told my next door neighbor, that's my football now.
Yeah. You want it? Come get it.
Right? Yeah, those dudes don't fuck around with that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have near as many like contacts with Europe as I used to. So they're just not coming back. I
Well,
used to have tons of them, man.
you did, but I mean, there's a number of things that have sort of put a damper in that, yeah?
Um, I guess. I don't know. I mean, COVID was definitely a hit, but
Mm-hmm.
after that, a lot of it was just I mean, we haven't had problems getting students on visas and things like that. They can't stay after they're done, though.
Right.
That's harder. That's way more expensive now than it used to be.
Well, and they'd have to get sponsored, right?
Well, that's the expensive part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that takes a lot. Just like a lot of companies are just kind of like, it's just too much work, and you'll probably quit in a year anyway. Blah blah blah. Kind of stuff. You know.
Well, I guess I would put that to you. You're always my pragmatic guy on the business side. What would you do? Would you fuck with it, or would you say like, look local?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what I was hiring for, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it depends because local guys are just as bad. I mean, you know, like yeah, I'll
Yeah.
work here for a year, blah, you know.
I mean, we're talking about us.
Yeah, pretty stable.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
it's a little different.
we,
Yeah,
we we have been,
yeah.
but oftentimes we have not been.
Oftentimes we have not been. Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll get my green card. I'm good. Fuck off. Yeah.
Like, you and I have a
It's like, wait a minute. You want me here to be at 8 in the morning? Yeah, no.
Yeah. There's an 8 a.m. now.
What?
Well, I mean, I think you and I have a couple experiences of, well, that was the worst 2.5 weeks of my life.
Oh, with jobs? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are assholes.
You would not believe how many knives they expected me to sell door to door, Pat.
I know, man.
Yeah.
How many contacts? You want me to call my mother? She's got plenty of names.
My mom can't afford land.
And, yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. She doesn't even own the land that she's on.
Yeah, that's true. It's like the bank is buying that back
Right, yeah.
1 month at a time.
1 month at a time. Yeah. Have you ever heard of reverse mortgage?
Take a regular mortgage, right?
Yeah.
But instead of you paying them, they pay you.
And then they get to keep it
Now they don't kick you out once it's been paid.
until you die. Yeah.
This is correct.
Take all the shit.
I've never heard of a reverse mortgage that that like the bank president like had that discussion with a dude in the Costco parking lot for like $500. It's like push her down the stairs.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
No.
No.
Catch you.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
So at least I know that that little bit of grossness isn't happening. But
No. No. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been watching the market the last couple of days for its grossness. So fucking raviolis were way down. God.
I don't understand. What's the impetus behind
So
this?
raviolis track with tech stocks.
Okay.
All right. So tech stocks took a beating last couple of days because everybody started realizing that the AI bubble, like you've been saying for a while, how do you make money off this? So a lot of people started to realize, wait a minute, I'm not getting my money back right away.
Well, so yeah, it's not just a right away thing. There's a couple components where obviously, I mean, there's no two ways around it. Like AI use is up, way up, and
It's way up.
if we're talking about just the regular the applications that the average person sees, right?
Right.
People are talking to Chat GPT and all this other shit
Hmm.
more than ever. What they don't, this is the thing. So you can subscribe to these things so you get more access to them, right?
Right.
But I don't think that's hammering checks left and right in
Oh.
terms of that. And there's no version of this where it's like Facebook, where it's going to inundate you with ads, because I think people
Nope.
would depart that in a second.
No.
So that front end, am I wrong? Is there something about this where that seems like a loss leader, or what?
It
What am
might
I?
be a loss leader. So the guys on the All In podcast kind of called this the other day.
What did I say?
They said that like the future of AI is open source, not closed model. So, because now new AI, basically ecosystems are coming up. They're 100% like Grok is going open source on a lot of things,
Yeah,
and so nobody can really figure out, okay, so if it's open source, then you can just basically copy,
right.
the algorithms. It's like, how do you actually like, unlike Facebook or the social media thing where you could actually like monetize a captured audience. But if all of those, like if Facebook originally, or even like, go back to the days where, you had like, what was the other big one back then?
MySpace.
MySpace. So if you basically had, access to the proprietary, like the backroom
Oh, yeah,
software,
yeah, yeah.
okay, so what's to prevent you from creating a new Facebook that's absolutely free and not chock full of ads? The answer would be nothing if it was open source. And that's where AI is going. It's going to completely open source.
Right,
And
right.
so, yeah,
Okay.
and so they were saying that like the whole reason is like there's a whole bunch of guys out there who would basically bank, like OpenAI was supposed to be open, but it wasn't, but then it is now, kind of thing. It's like, all right, so how the fuck do you monetize that? And so a whole bunch of people would put a bunch of money into venture capital firms,
Oh,
trying
yes.
to like capture this, so that you could sit on fucking IP. But if the IP is free, now everybody's like, "Oh fuck, man!"
Well, yeah. Well, because the other thing is it's not as though the. I guess that's the question. Is, I mean, I suppose that you can give the source. What I don't know is if they give all the modeling away with it.
I have no idea. I don't know that. I would defer to you on that one. You know way more about it than I do. But
Shit, that's what people pay to have done. I mean,
okay, yeah, I
so
I don't know, man. But anyway, that was a big reason. The other thing that came up was the fact that, so Elon Musk decided to pull XAI and SpaceX together.
Yeah.
So, and then they were talking about like how much less computing power that's going to take. Like it's going to be like they were expecting, okay, oh my God, it's going to eat all the power on fucking planet Earth and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But like what they've noticed with like a lot of these algorithms and then open sourcing, they're collapsing down to the point in time where they're going to take about 70 times less computing power
Yeah.
to actually be able
Yeah.
to do. And so all these people who put all this money into like fucking NVIDIA and stuff, NVIDIA went like that, I mean, it was way oversold anyway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, totally. So, but it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so if we use satellites in the sky that pull sun, you know, without an atmosphere between it and the sun,
Does it make a difference?
it is going to make a big difference.
Turns out it makes a difference.
So, and that's why all three of those space type companies, like Bezos's, what is it,
Oh, Blue Origin.
Blue Origin, and all of them are setting up their own basically Starlinks, now at this point in time. And so, okay, so it's no longer going to be captive space-based internet. It's basically going to wreck all of your cellular companies, in the future, um, and that's all going to be powered by basically free sun. Yeah. Because the compute, all it needs to do is just shoot that signal back down. It doesn't need to shoot power back down.
Well,
It does your shit up there in space, and then it sends you the result. And so that doesn't actually take away from our power grid, anymore. And so there was just a confluence of like different engineering problems that everybody fucking suddenly solved right off the bat. And it's like, well, wait a minute.
well, you're right. So this was.
And so there was a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
money
Yeah.
banking on certain things that turned out not to be true. So, and again, it hit raviolis because raviolis just track with tech stocks. I mean, because that's where tech bros put their money. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, at least there's a logical answer to it. The what I think is hilarious to this is it's funny that I would say about 2 weeks ago, right?
Mhm.
The doom and gloom side of this that I heard, and tell me if you heard this version, was guys, it's about power. And China is outputting this much more power than
Yep.
we are, and this is where it goes. But it's funny because
Dude, that was old. That's old news now. That's old news, man.
all of
It was like, wait a minute, China doesn't have a fucking Starlink. Got it.
this goes all the way back to the ancient times of mid-January, right?
Before I filed my taxes. Yeah.
Mid-January 2026,
Thanks.
by the way.
Yeah.
But the concern of it is, and it was so funny because they were so cocksure about these calculations. They were like, guys, no, here's what it's gonna need, and in order for this to run, it's got to be like this, and this. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, you guys, okay, so let me get this straight. You guys lived through the IBM era. If some of you are maybe older and to like, I don't think a lot of you guys are like UNIVAC dudes, but y'all remember
Fucking Fortran guys. Yeah.
do you fuckers remember like from the 60s and 70s when the projection was with a computer the size of the Empire State Building,
Right.
we'll be able to go ahead and play a game of Pong, right? There's this this thing where the vision was must get bigger, right? Even though in all of our times it has always been it gets smaller,
Right.
it gets miniaturized.
Right.
But they were so it's like this is why it's doomed. We can't produce enough power in this, and China is 5 times. Well, they have like 5 times the population. Of course, they need this much more power.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't think that all of this is just they have to keep lights on and shit too.
And they have problems with that. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like this is where it's doomed. There was an article about where it's like so once the first person hits quantum computing, we're all done.
I've heard that many times. Yeah. Same thing with like oh my God, they're going to hack all the crypto keys and it's just going to
Yep.
melt off.
Okay, yeah, you're
I've seen
familiar
all
with
that
that shit
stuff,
too.
you know, but really when it comes down, well, the same thing, everybody's like, oh, it's back to gold and silver, which fucking crashed like a motherfucker the last 2 days. So
It sure did.
it sure did, man.
It was
So
going up enough for me to think like, onto something.
yeah, I might have to go look at my attic for some fucking Ike dollars, you know, yeah. I'll pay off my mortgage with that. Yeah, no. So it's just immediately, you know, and that's just because, I mean, fundamentally, I mean, the thing is like a lot of people are just not willing to bet on the American economy. So, which is phenomenal. And it's, I mean, it's just, like, just like last quarter, the numbers came out and everybody's like
Yeah.
projecting like 6% GDP. It's like put your money in the fucking S&P 500. So that's why you look over the last weekend, it was stocks, tech stocks, Nasdaq, crypto took a hit, silver took a hit. These are all offhand bets. You know, S&P 500, fine.
That was fine too.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, basically the same thing. But yeah, fine. You know, because everybody's going around looking at it and saying, "Oh, well, that's boring. I can't get rich off that this weekend." It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, you get it.
But you can over the next 10 years. So just shut the fuck up and go back to work. You know? So, I don't like my 6% match. It's like, okay. All right, man. I'll see you in 10 years, buddy.
It's hard to tell somebody. It's like that's 6% you got for nothing.
Right.
They just gave that to you.
no, man. I had to go to work 40 hours a week. You know?
Yeah, that's true, man.
That is true.
That's
Man.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome to the club, bro.
God, yeah, my heart goes out to you. And it's just like, yeah,
That's
gotcha, dude.
awful, man. You'd have to scrape that out of the fucking ground. You know?
Before I'll say it now, it's like, how did you get through that door with that cross on your back? It's-
Turn it sideways, man. Come on.
I'm sorry, man. I don't want to equate I don't want to equate the average person to like your average like Caleb Hammer guest, but there is some
Oh man,
there is some of that fucking shit,
dude,
man.
he definitely he cherry picks the ones that are like the worst.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like,
I
you
know.
spent how much on fucking DoorDash? You know, he's like, you can't afford to be a good tipper.
I get so the thing that always used to get me was, and this is something I know they've been at least doing this since Letterman. I guarantee you this goes back before, but the same thing that they used to do was, uh, let's go ahead and put a person out there on the street. We're going to ask him a few like
Oh yeah,
civics questions or whatever, and we're going to
right,
say
right.
Americans are so stupid because they're going to go to somebody and they're going to say, "Can you name 3 countries in North America?"
Exactly.
And they'll be like,
Africa,
so, "There's one."
Russia.
Okay, you're doing great.
Yeah.
And
Oklahoma.
dude, well done. Right, here's $20. Right, so the thing is, I know that they passed by 200 people that said, "Are you stupid?"
Right, yeah.
Well, there's the one above us, the one below us.
Yeah, and then the one you're standing on.
Right. And they'll ask. There are people that I get it. I get it. There are lots of people who look. The average American knows dick all about geography. I get it.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but there's certain things where they'll your average person will be like, well, I can tell you the continents, and they'll get into it's like, do we still count Europe and Asia
Yeah,
as
the
two,
two
or
different
is it
ones. Or
just
just
one?
Eurasia. Yeah.
Or they'll just break it down and say like, I don't know whether to count Pluto as a planet or not anymore.
Yeah,
It
I
seems
don't know.
controversial.
That guy's gonna be mad about that.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you're gonna grab the fucking lady who's just kind of like, so space is a planet.
You're right. Yeah.
Like all of space is a planet.
Is it Pluto? Yeah.
I think it's Pluto. It's Mickey Mouse's dog.
Right.
I still haven't got my food. There's going to be, and so yeah, I remember they used to do that, and I was like, this does not line up with test
No.
scores,
No.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, Caleb Hammer definitely does that a little bit. I still like watching his shorts. So
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah.
funny.
look, there is a cautionary tale to this.
There's definitely a cautionary
Yes.
tale to it. And I will say that there's a little bit of truth in what he has to say about, well, I mean, it's rare where you find somebody who's like in their 40s or 50s on his show,
Right.
but
Right.
I mean, he's pulling people who are like 22. Okay, fine. You don't understand that, like, okay, your mortgage payment, if you were to buy a house now at $2,200 a month versus renting at $800 a month, you're actually saving money by renting. Okay, because all of your mortgage payments going towards interest, and so you get guys like that every now and then. But then, like the stupid ass ones that he gets on there, where it's like, wait a minute, where's your money coming from? And they're like, well, I just used this piece of plastic, and
Yeah. So
it's like I thought they were giving me money. It's like, come on, man.
no, you're telling. I think we're probably thinking of the same person who is like $400,000 in credit card debt and
Right.
was bitching about not being able to travel.
Right? Yeah.
And I think those are the ones that people live for, where it's the people who get on and are there supposedly for advice, but do not want to listen to a word that he says.
Well, those are the best ones.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to
Yeah.
move to Germany. And it's like, well, fucking go. Pack up your shit and go. So, well, yeah, because you get a stipend there, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you're a citizen, that's going to take 10 years.
Man, this thing, sometimes where it's, I don't think you realize just how generous this country is sometimes.
Oh, I know.
Ridiculously generous. I mean, there are certain things where, yes, I get it, and I go back and forth on like birthright citizenship. There's a part of me where, as soon as it was pointed out to me that this was written this way,
Yeah.
because these people were here and they used to be property, and
This is not a loophole. This is closing a loophole.
we wanted to make sure that these people who we admit were wrong
Yeah.
don't get double wrong because of things that we have written in here. It was not a version of where two people from Spain are here, their child is born,
Yeah.
it's automatically a citizen, right? That's not what it was intended for.
Yeah.
But I also understand.
I actually
but
don't
that's how
think
it's
it
written.
actually works that way.
Well, in theory, based on what again, every other civilized nation on the planet it's your country of origin, not where you were born.
Yeah.
Right.
It's different here, but I don't like that thing where, like, what is it, baby tourism or whatever it is?
Oh, Anchor Baby.
Anchor baby. I don't
Yeah.
think that actually works the way that most people say it does. I haven't dived into it, but I mean, I've known people who've tried that and it doesn't work. So there's something to it. Like if you show up at Ellis Island fucking 8 months pregnant,
Right.
you are not allowed to stay here. There's something in there where there is actually a little bit of a barrier for people to do that. So
Yeah, I know there is something to be said. I know that the letter of the law says, "Born here, you're a citizen." And I think
well, that's in that dinner napkin that we call the Constitution.
that's
But,
correct. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, but I don't think it actually works that way. I think that's been solved in some respects. I don't know. Like I had to talk about that once. I can't remember. It might have been back when I was teaching business law. So
Who asked you about
it
that?
came up somehow. So I think it was in one of our moot court cases that we did.
Really?
Something. I don't know. I'd have to ask the lawyerly experts that I know. But there are provisions against that. So
I think so. I think there's a couple of components. I think you're right. So if you try to go through a port of entry and you're 8 months pregnant, they're going to be like, scoot, right?
well, I know it doesn't apply if you show up illegally. So if you and somebody else show up illegally and then you have a kid, that kid is not an American citizen.
So I presume in this case it would probably be for people on visas.
Must be.
More
Must
than
be.
anything
Yeah,
else.
it must be.
Right. Probably
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah, no. I know if you're a legit, like you and your spouse are resident aliens and you have a kid, that kid is a citizen. That is true. So, but that would mean that you're here legally, which means you have permission to be here, which means your kid has permission to be an American citizen.
Right. I imagine.
I think if you hop the fence pregnant and then your kid is born here, I don't think you're actually a citizen at that point in time.
It may have things to do where, let's say, for example, you are a border hopper, and let's say that you marry a citizen.
Then your
Right.
kid is a citizen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
So there may be, I think there's provisions into it. I don't think it's just a, like, well, throw over the fence, you know, where kid will.
I don't think it works. I think this has been litigated thoroughly.
About that.
Right. Yeah.
Right, so-
I'm pretty sure this has been thoroughly litigated. But anyway, there was a couple things like that came up like that in that class. So the other thing that came up the other day, it was like I can't remember. Like I was talking to like my buddy at the yacht club about this, and he's not an American citizen.
Oh, right.
But he's legally, resident alien or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I was like, well, how? Like, it's like, all right. So if they pull you over, okay, you can demonstrate that you're here legally. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, here.
Weirdest thing on the planet.
Yeah. And I was sitting there thinking, it was like, well, if they pulled me over, what the fuck would I do? Because I was sitting there looking. I thought it always said on your driver's license whether or not you're a citizen. It does not.
It doesn't.
So I was
but
like, how the fuck would I be able to demonstrate that?
that's all you need, though.
What, a driver's license?
Yeah.
But it doesn't say on there that I'm a citizen.
You take it.
Well, yeah, no, he's going to run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, well, again, it's the fucking the thing that just drives me nuts on this is like I never thought I'd live in a country where you'd have to travel with papers to prove your identity. I'm like,
You have
it's
to
your,
do that when you drive a car.
it's like it's your fucking driver's license.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck you.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck you for that shit. I was like, yeah,
Like,
dare
wait a
you
minute,
draw
I'm
that
just
comparison.
traveling on this road.
Oh, hey, listen, if you're into that territory, look, you're in a different category of people. You're
Just passing through.
just passing through. You know, that's right. I'm not traveling.
Yeah.
I will not submit to a military tribunal because I'm not a serviceman.
Yeah, okay, so you've seen those videos too.
It's just like, well, I can't be tried in this courtroom. That's why. It's really well because those two states were admitted illegally here, and you
Right,
have 50
yeah,
on here,
right,
which
right,
means it's
yeah.
like, oh my god. Oh yeah. No, it's I watch those as much as the people who think that getting pulled over by the police is like Arby's, where it's like,
Arby's.
fucking, the first thing is, I need you to get your supervisor. It's like, this is.
Exactly. I remember fucking hotcakes, man. I expect them within 30 seconds or less.
The thing, one of the things that I found absolutely, as we talked about, the pre George Floyd thing and post where the demonstration of the lack of racism in our police force via the
Body cams.
dreaded body
Oh,
cams is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
And
that
the-
one died on the vine too. Yeah.
The thing that I thought was hilarious was just a couple of weeks ago, there were people saying, like, why do these fucking ICE people not have body cams on them? This is ridiculous. So they started getting body cams. And they said, we don't want them to have body cams because,
yeah,
because
they show our bullshittery. Yeah.
well, they show our bullshittery. And on top of that, they were saying, it's also exposing the faces of people in our little bullshit organization. So we don't want,
yeah.
it's like, guys, you know what? You're up to no good.
Yeah.
You are not on the right side. If this
No.
is your approach, you're not on the right side.
No, that ice thing seems to have died down quite a bit in the last 2 weeks.
You know why?
Because they're just doing their fucking job,
Well-
and then he turned around and said, well, we don't have to be out there on the streets if you just turn them over at the fucking jail like you're supposed to. So, and it was like, wait a minute, like the other 49 states do.
Which is why Tom Homan said, all right, so when you do that, 700 of us will leave right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that put a damper on that real quick.
Sure did.
I even saw that our governor came out. He's like, yeah, absolutely, pick him up at the jail. So
I don't think he's the one that advocates for that shit.
No, he's not. He's got some fucking lunatics in Aurora and places like that that are advocating for that shit. But he's like, fine by me.
I gotta
Take it
tell
over
you,
the
yeah,
trail, man.
yeah. So
So
for all the shit that he catches like around the states, and I don't, that's their problem, right? I know what I've seen with this guy. Uh, I will tell you that
who, Holman or
no, Polis.
Polis? Yeah.
Everything I need to know about that guy was parsed out during COVID, and that dude was not an asshole. He
Nope.
was not a lunatic.
Uh-uh.
He did not sit there and make phone calls to the other Democrats and say, "Oh, what are you guys doing? Can I copy your homework?" And
Zoom me in on Slack. Yeah. Yeah.
man, I got here late. I'm sorry, man. Fucking cat threw up. It is
Let
what
me
it-
take your notes. Yeah.
He didn't do that. He said,
No.
I don't know. I have to observe, measure, and act like a scientist. And ta-da, he did it. So
Yeah, he did it.
that's all I needed to know. Because that's how you run a government. It's like, well, I don't know if totalitarian taxes are going to work. Let me try it for a week.
Yeah. Oh, you guys don't like that. Okay.
Okay, all right. Bad mistake. Okay, we're going to cut that by half.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to measure again and see if that's the right amount of totalitarianism. And so he demonstrated with that. But yeah, there are some fucking pussholes of the week in Colorado government who advocate for the dumbest 80-20 shit, and I do not know how they get it through. I really don't.
I don't know, man. Some of those communities up there above the I-25 Mason-Dixon line, they've got issues, you know.
I guess.
They do.
I guess.
Yeah. No, there's some bona fide lunatics up there, but no, man, I'm actually going to miss him as governor. I mean, I know people who ran small businesses and they still talk shit about him. But
Because of COVID? Or?
well, yeah, because of COVID and stuff like that, because he wasn't a Republican who just like Ron DeSantis the entire thing out.
Fair
Okay, but I'm like, all
Okay.
right, so at least you weren't in fucking California or fucking New Mexico or fucking
or the tri-state area.
or the tri-state area
Yeah.
or Michigan or
Yeah.
fucking Minnesota. Okay, so I get it. All right, it's bad, and but like I agree with you on this one, man. I think he was pretty measured. I think I was out of the yacht club for only like maybe fucking 3-4 weeks. You know. Yeah, and then after that, it was like, all right, every other seat got it. And the same thing with class. I mean, so we had one semester where we were out, and that was the fall, if I'm not mistaken. But that, like, to be fair, that was an overreaction on the part of the universities. So, because they were all the same.
Correct.
And yes, all right, so local schools were out for about a year. Okay, so maybe a little bit more, but it did vary from district to district. And so that was a school board call. That wasn't a mandate from the governor's office. So, and there were some school districts that were a little bit more about it than others.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, a lot of them got their asses kicked on test scores. So kids started coming back real fast. So, but not all of them were that way. So even across this town, you would have different variants based upon neighborhood, because I don't think my daughter was not out for a year. I think Will's kids might have been out for a year. God, I don't even remember, man. See, and that's
It's weird.
that is it wasn't that long ago, but it seems like a different lifetime ago now. So
Oh yes.
because like I'll tell you, like even in my experience in school, so we had one semester that was fully remote, and that was the fall of 2020. Okay, because remember the shots came out in summer that year. There wasn't a mandate because not everybody could get them early because you had to be like whatever it was.
Oh,
What do they call that?
immunocompromised.
Immunocompromised, or you had to be
Yeah.
critical worker
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
it was. So people working at Walmart, and my mom got one first. I didn't get one until like later that fall.
I can get you the card. So
Yeah, my cards. I probably threw that out, but whatever. But I remember being.
I only got the 2, by the way.
Yeah, I only got the 2.
Yeah.
So, well, I had to. So that was one thing that my school made me do So they were like, you are not allowed back on campus unless you get this and the follow up, whatever it was. They, to their credit though, they never made me get a booster. So they said, no, you don't have to do that. And then I guarantee you, spring of 2021, we were back on campus. So,
Right.
I mean, at most it was like 6 months. Maybe with those first like two or like the last month or two of the semester in the spring of 20. So, but I guarantee you, we were back on campus 2021, although it was voluntary. Okay. So, like,
Right.
students didn't
Right.
have to come. But if they decided to come, then we had like fucking duct tape or like masking tape X's in every other chair,
Yeah.
kind of thing. We didn't have to put up the glass bullshit and all that stuff,
Right.
like some places did. Like the school up on the hill did that. So,
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
no, it doesn't surprise me one bit either. Those guys are fucking hurting too right now, man. So they got $27 million deficit this year. They went all in on these weird fucking esoteric programs that were all grant funded, and fucking those got burnt down over last summer. And so I saw that in the news the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god, man! I could have called that 2 years ago." So
Yeah, man, it's that. It's
dude,
that.
they're gonna start selling that thing out for parts, man. $27 million a year by annual deficit is fucking
That's
terrible.
annual.
That's annual, so that's a structural deficit. So yeah, they're I don't know what they're gonna do, man. So I'm glad I don't work there no more. Otherwise, I'd be fucking cut.
What is it? Staff? I mean, I presume that's
It's
got
got
to
to
be.
be. It's going to have to come in. They're going to have to fix it with tuition increases, staff cuts, departmental cuts.
Everything. Yeah.
Like everything
Raise
across
the
the
cost of
board.
price of parking.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, like some of the major universities are in the same boat because they loaded up on these fucking structural grants. Over the last 10 years or so that all went through NSF or DOD or Department of Energy, all these things, and all
Yeah.
those guys got fucking just hacksawed last summer. We had a couple, but we've already been able to patch some of those up, man, because when you're small fry, I mean, you get small fry grants. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're not small fry, it's a little bit different. So
Well, I mean, it's not as though education is free from that same the computers get bigger every year syndrome.
that's exactly what kind of happened, man. Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you start layering grants on top of grants, and realizing that that's not actually income, all right, that's a one-time guarantee for cash for so many years, but then you build structure behind that and use that money to pay for fucking buildings and shit.
Yeah.
You're going to get yourself in trouble. So
And they are in trouble.
they are in trouble, man.
And again, that doesn't surprise me.
Mm-mm.
Well, actually, okay. It should surprise me because again, it's the same sort of thing where, in theory, you're taking our wisest, most educated, and putting them in charge of an institution to make people wise and educated, but they make fucking boneheaded decisions like this.
They are terrible at business.
That's correct. Right.
They're terrible at business. They just assume that, like, oh, great, we got this, and we'll get it renewed, and we'll get it renewed, and we'll get it renewed, and then, then fucking, burn down USAID.
You know what?
So
Good. I mean,
yeah, no, I totally get it, man. You should be able to stand on your own 2 feet. So
because ultimately, it's in some ways, it's sort of a disservice to the students in a lot of ways to sort of, I mean, if you don't let the market actually dictate more of what it is that you offer,
yeah.
right? It's sort of doing a disservice to the students in terms of giving them the thought or the idea. Now, again, it's on them to go and research this too. I mean, especially if you're going to this university.
No, but I mean, I've been at a university, got the rug jerked out from it before, and so I mean, and that's not fair to your students at all.
No.
And so
no.
So if you got somebody up there and wanted to go work on a Department of Energy grant, and got like a fucking master scholarship on that, now that's cooked. That's a disservice to that student, absolutely. So in my opinion, the university should eat that.
I would agree.
Yeah,
It's a sort of a anybody who's in here right now gets this.
correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of like the way that that a lot of firefighter unions. If you signed up at this date, it's 20 years. If you
Yeah,
signed
you're
up at
good.
this
Yeah,
date,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
25
yeah,
years.
yeah. You get that pension plan.
And sorry, I know if it's a day later, it is what it is. But that's
And the rules.
yep.
That's the breaks.
That's what the mayor and I have decided. So that's just
Right,
how I go.
yes.
If you have any objections, go ahead and post your resignation right there. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just do me a favor, just write it professionally with your name and address in the upper left hand corner. Because I'm not going to read the fucking thing. I just need to know what it says.
Yeah, I just need to work. I just need to read it too.
Yep. Yeah, it's a wacky thing, and you know what? And again, just to go back to the AI thing, I don't think it's a bad idea to be investing in this shit. I understand that there's a lot of people, and rightly so, where the people who are mad at the chip manufacturers, where it's like, could you sell like maybe 70% of your shit to these AI guys, and the rest of it is video cards and RAM? Could you possibly do that? And so I understand.
I think
people
that'll
being,
get sorted out.
well, I mean,
I think that'll get sorted out.
here's the answer: is if they're not making enough, that should be a ripe opportunity for people to say, "I need to get in this market."
Yeah, I guess that would be my point.
Well, yeah, I need to get in this market. There's not enough shit to go around, and sorry, man. There's something to me. There's something to me that when it comes to the way that they're doing AI right now and buying NVIDIA chips and stuff, that feels so much like Bitcoin mining on a.
It's very similar, isn't it? Yeah. So you're going to be sitting on a 5080 RTX or whatever in a year or two, and it's going to be worth $1.
Now, right now, okay, now with the shortages, old video cards are going
No
for
problem. Yes.
doing
Yeah,
great,
no
and
problem.
it was exactly like that during the Bitcoin mining
Yeah.
heyday, right?
Yeah.
But there's something about this feels so similar. I'm like, but you're doing it on a huge scale, kind of like when the guys who were worst about this were China in terms of setting up their farms for this,
Yeah.
and then the government shut them.
Well, that's a little bit of a different thing, but yeah.
Can I ask you one thing before I sort of wrap this up here? Maybe you've heard a little bit more about it than I have. I've heard stories about big leadership purges in China. Have you?
That's that. Yeah. So I've been trying to follow that the last couple days. So
I've not gotten a story about it that did not seem parsed full of bullshit. So
yeah, well, it's hard with China because they actually do a really good job of flooding the market with bullshit news. Whatever is going on, and I mean, especially if you're taking the news in short form.
yes.
So I was actually listening to a podcast about this last night from this, China watcher, and she's pretty good, about it. And basically, Xi Jinping purged his military, so the upper echelon, because there were a couple guys up there that were actually pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a good story on why he did this. So
Yeah, because some of the guys, he made exceptions for them to continue being in there.
exactly, the top guy in particular,
Yeah.
who was an old buddy of his from
Yeah.
ages and ages ago, that guy got purged, and so now everybody's kind of up in the air, and of course all the doomerism comes out about them, okay, we're in 2026, war in Taiwan, blah blah blah, kind of thing. And well, and that's my kind of point about it is okay, I get it. You guys who are in this geopolitical, YouTube space here
Yeah.
are always going to call that, and I've heard that called many times, with it not actually being true. But who knows? We'll see, man. The whole thing about Taiwan in particular is that's a heavy ask, even for a country that's 90 miles away and has, millions of soldiers and more specifically rockets. Yeah.
This is
So
true.
they can basically scrape it down to the sidewalks in a weekend if they really wanted to. But then for what? What does that actually get you? And everybody argues about, well, they got TSMC, the biggest chip manufacturer. Well, Trump kind of saw, well, actually, Trump and Biden.
Yep.
Let's give them a little bit
Yeah.
of credit there.
One guy opened the door.
One guy over the door.
Cracked the door open, and the other dude just came in with a flying kick. Yeah. To which I give them both credit on that. Yeah.
But they were talking about that the last 2 years. Like TSMC was giving those guys in Arizona setting up the plant so much shit, but that plant actually outproduces theirs now. Which is kind of that's one of those good pieces of American news that you don't hear, because it doesn't really serve anybody's purpose, for content generation to say that, you're actually standing on the country now that produces more chips than anybody else, but whatever. Says fucking bumpkins from Arizona can't make chips, and it's like, well, actually, if you pay them enough, they'll make a fuckload of chips.
The flip side is like, oh, I'm sorry, only fucking Taiwanese super genius.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who live under dictatorial fucking management can make this happen. Yeah, no. So who knows, dude? I have no idea. I mean, like the whole thing about like, I think they said it about Asia for years. It's a good neighborhood with two bad neighbors. And nobody likes those two guys.
They don't even like each other.
They don't even like each other. In fact, they beat on each other rapidly and frequently. So who knows, dude? I mean, like, China's a weird thing. I mean, I still watch the China guys just about every week. They've gotten a little bit off the rails lately with some stupid bullshit.
They have. I mean, I get that they're having a good time. It doesn't.
Dude, they're 300 episodes deep. I mean, they're kind of like us. They kind of talk about the same shit all the time,
They do, and they get pretty far into the weeds sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's you'll take a 45-minute tangent on. Well, remember when we were in Bailao, and there was that man, that very ugly man, and this very ugly family, and everybody said they were ugly. Right, you know what I'm talking about? They'll get into there. Yeah,
like us talking about Transformers or something. And get off on GoBots or whatever.
It happens.
It does happen, man. But I mean, so I don't really know. I mean, I'll watch those guys a little bit and see if they have anything to say. But my understanding is it's basically par for the course. And that dude has to go around and mow weeds every now and then in order to actually maintain power. Like you watch Putin do the same thing. I mean, he's fired like so many guys because they lie to him and they say, oh, everything's fine. He's like, well, pins on map don't move. So what's the deal, guys?
I mean, yeah, that is problematic. You're right, because both of those places in the same way is so I need the numbers. I expected 5. What did you get? 5.2.
Same. Good.
Good. Same 5.2 from last time. It's awesome.
All right. Yeah. 5.4 now.
Right.
Yeah.
Those things multiply, right?
Right. Yeah. No.
Right. Which is when you come down to it, the people. I'm convinced that I'm convinced that the actual GDP lead that the United States has over China
way higher
is twice what it actually is.
I know, and everybody says, "Oh, PPP." It's like, yeah, I can buy fucking rice in China for 10 cents on the pound. I'm kidding. All right, that doesn't mean I'm eating Big Macs. Yeah, it's a little bit different, man. That's one of those things when you hear economists roll that one out, it's like.
Well, to flip around and say, like, okay, you know what? Not a problem. All right. So if that's the case, you just answer this question for me right here. It's like, would you rather live in this country on that salary or their country in their salary?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because in theory, they should be living like fucking kings if that's the case.
Well, and that's the point. You can pick 10 random people out of China and only one of them can actually afford a Big Mac. So here in the United States, you pick 10 random people out. About 9 of them probably afford a Big Mac, and you could probably spot the 10th guy one.
Well, you don't get it today, but at the end of the week, he will.
Oh, he'll have one a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's the complete difference. This is a funny thing when I watch some of these China watchers who go over there, and it's like, oh, you got your hand held around Shanghai, got it. Okay, that's why I've always liked those China guys. It's like you need to get about 10 minutes out of town. You know? It's gonna look like fucking Mordor. Here in the United States, I could drop you in the poorest county in Colorado. You're gonna find a fucking Mickey D's. You know?
Again, the same shit where they'll go in there and say like, wait a second, you guys.
So it'll have a Walmart.
Walmart
Yeah.
may not be a super Walmart,
No. But you can get to it within probably about 45 minutes. Yeah.
but if you don't have a super Walmart, right, you have a cultural center known as Buc-ee's or something like that. You do have.
Oh, our Bucky's got murdered off, dude.
Why?
I don't know. The fucking guys up in Palmer Lake murdered off the other day. So we're supposed to get a Bucky's right at the top of Monument Hill.
Really?
They killed it off, dude. Fucking assholes. So
Okay, all right.
Anyways,
All right. Well, that actually kind of breaks my heart. But you know what?
yeah, me too.
It turns out we don't need one. It means that we do have. There are cultural centers to the north and south of it.
Correct. We
Yeah.
can find another spot for
That's
Buc-ee's.
correct.
Yeah.
Hey, look, another town needs them more.
Sure.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, but
Anyway.
the thing. So one of the things that I love that they point to is so modern buildings in China, and again they've been built more recently. They love LED lights, and so people will look at these buildings in China and say like, these guys are from
Fucking
the future,
cyberpunk, yeah.
right? And the thing is like, well, okay, so I get it, but if you go away from here and you're like 5 miles, right?
Uh-huh.
They haven't figured out that if you curve the roads, the water moves towards the side when
Right.
it rains.
Yeah.
Versus places like the shit I couldn't believe where it's like every day when it rains,
Yeah.
it floods
Every day.
every single
Don't
day,
be in a tunnel.
and all you
You're
have
gonna
to
die.
do, that's correct, is curve the fucking road. And if you go to America, every road
is curved. Including the shit road in my cul-de-sac. It is curved towards the curbs. Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about. Is
I know,
like
man.
it's you gave the guns to the Indians way before they understood the technology. You have to do the homework in between.
Yeah. You have to do the homework in between. So I can go down to Acacia Park and use the water fountain there and have a very low chance of dying. If I did that in any park in China, I would die. Yeah. It's like, what is it hooked into? Oh.
Well, see, okay, so we
You can
talked
stick the
about this.
pipe in the ground far enough. And like,
Is that
is it supposed to taste like antifreeze?
right? Is that drink water? Is it shower water? Is it poo water?
It's not any of those. You can't even put it in your radiator.
That's class 4. It's like, well, actually, that's wastewater. And when we say wastewater, we mean industrial wastewater.
Right. Yeah. It will melt your radiator.
That's why it's so shiny.
Mommy, my water has rainbows in it.
All right. There you go.
All right. Enough bagging on China. I'm Pat.
I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting the button.
Yeah.